me, personal brand is about how you represent yourself, but more importantly, how you're represented when you're not there. And Jeff Bezos summed it up really well, where he said, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. It's a really nice phrase. It kind of makes sense, because it's kind of almost the impression that you leave behind. Part of that impression obviously comes from interaction face-to-face, but a lot of that will also come via online media, and perhaps actually when you're not actually there. And one of the reasons why LinkedIn has certainly taken off and become very popular is it enables you to not be in the room physically, but be there electronically, talking about yourself in the way you want to be seen. And the reason it's important, the new economy, what I mean by this is you can no longer be reliant on your employer, your would-be company, to talk about and help you. I think people, certainly over the last 5 years, have come to recognize that you can't rely on your organization. It's no longer a job for life. So actually, your personal brand becomes very important, because your economy is you. It's what you're capable of doing. It's what you're able to do. It's what you bring to the table. And actually, that's going to be through what people know about you, but also perhaps people who don't know you being able to find out and learn more about you. It's about ownership. You get to own what's out there. You get to control the information. When I first started in research back in '02, it was fantastic, because actually, you would Google something and you get a reasonable amount of information, but actually there were a number of databases that were created. Fast forward 11 years, there are all sorts of sites and systems out there that are recording information about all of us, whether we like it or not, whether we realize it or not. The information is out there. And part of that is then trying to take ownership back for yourself, so you know what's out there and how you're then positioned. So personal branding is very important. Expert status, it can be a fantastic way for you to be seen as somebody who knows what you talk about. Blogs, I hate them, but actually there's some really good value in them, particularly if you want to position yourself as a potential subject matter expert. But the big thing is that social networking and personal branding really do go hand in hand. It will help you differentiate yourself from potentially other people who've got a similar career background, perhaps got some education background. It helps you step out from the traditional, you're one of 1,000, you're one of 5,000, you're one of 10,000, whatever it might be. So it is becoming very important. Now, the big thing with personal branding, as I say, it's about how do people look you up, how do people find out about you. The likelihood is people research. They will Google you. I mean, the best thing that ever happened to Google was somebody coined the phrase, I'll Google it, rather than I'll search online. It was definitely the best brand they ever had. But people will look you up online. They will search for the information. Social media sites specifically, not just LinkedIn, will help people be able to understand and gather intelligence and information, but actually this stuff will start to rank. So if you want to be seen above other individuals based around what you do, what you're talking about, and what you want to be positioned to be doing, this stuff does really become important. And LinkedIn is a fantastic way to help that. And the big thing, as I say, it's about what does the brand say about you? What do you tell people? You might think you give a particular impression. Most of us do. But actually, the impression that you give verbally or electronically can often be very different to what you assume. Case in point being two famous men with white teeth. They're very different, but they've got very, very defined brands. Whether you like them or not, whether you agree with their values, their beliefs, or otherwise, that doesn't matter. People have an opinion of these guys. And it's about saying, well, okay, what's there about you out in terms of the internet? What do you portray? What do you deliver? So the focus, as I say, is about kind of social media and the systems that are out there. Social landscape. McKinsey reported that there's over 1.5 billion people now using social networks around the world. 80% of those users regularly interact, regularly being defined as once a week. The reality is some people seem to be addicted to the stuff, and they literally can't go anywhere without checking in, sharing something, saying something. But companies are starting to capture it a lot more. Nowadays, 70% of companies say that they're using social technologies within their business, whether it's to market themselves, brand themselves, or whether it's internal systems such as Yammer, Chatter, to allow collaboration internally within organizations. It's becoming very accepted. I don't believe this 100%, but 90% of those companies say that they actually get some benefit from using them. The reason I say kind of a slightly tongue-in-cheek is it is McKinsey selling themselves. That being said, what's the argument of a business benefit? Well, business benefit might be they won a client, business benefit might be that they recruited somebody. So I can see where the benefit would come. But nowadays, people seem to spend a huge amount of time doing stuff, but not necessarily going anywhere. And what I mean by that is the average person who works in a knowledge environment spends 28 hours a week. writing emails, sharing information, sending information, and collaborating internally within businesses. So, you know, if you're supposed to be working a 35-hour week, all of a sudden you haven't got much time to do your job. But, you know, you see it all the time. I mean, I was on the tube coming up here. Everybody was sat on their phone doing something, whether it was looking at, you know, playing Candy Crush, looking up somebody online, posting their Facebook status, or actually doing work. You know, we're all attached to our phones. We're all attached to our computers, you know, laptops. It's expected that actually it happens nowadays. That's fine, but you need to make sure this stuff actually works best for you.